Alright, so I have decided to take Mike Petro's advice, and I'm going to go ahead and do some of my stand-up on YouTube, so that you guys can give me some feedback, let me know if I'm actually funny or just, annoying, as per usual. So to get this started off on the right foot, here are some utterly retarded jokes. I like to think that after he released Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice was visited by Freddie Mercury. They had a long and drawn out conversation about sampling another artist's music, and at the end of that conversation, Freddie Mercury got very frustrated and he said, Vanilla Ice, I'm not just finished with this conversation. I'm dun 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 dun. He suffered from a terrible stutter. I like to think of myself as a lover, not a fighter. But I get beaten up way more often than I get laid, so statistically. The other day, I heard some kids talking about making pot brownies. I was saddened with the state of today's youth. It's bad. Because on the side of the box, it clearly says to use an 8.5 by 11 baking pan. Later on, I heard those same kids complaining about how hungry they were. I was like, duh, you made your brownies wrong. No pity, you fucking idiots. I really liked Mrs. Frizzle when I was a kid. Magic School Bus. She had a cool motto. Get out there, get messy, make mistakes. Hell yeah, I can get behind that. That's awesome. But I think there's a very good reason that she was not allowed to teach sex ed to those children. Huh, at my old school, we never stuck it there. Maybe you should be less anal about it, Phoebe. Carlos. Classic Carlos. Probably should have stayed home from school that day, Arnold. Fetishes are very weird. I don't pretend to understand them fully. Everyone has them. Can't pretend otherwise. I once dated a girl who her fetish was being blindfolded. Every time we did it, she wanted me to blindfold her. So I asked her about it, about why she liked it. She said she did it for me. I said, well, what do you mean you do it for me? She said, well, you made such a big deal out of it last time I asked you to wear the paper bag. This just seemed like a kinky compromise. I like that joke because you really don't get to use the word kinky compromise very often in polite conversation. You can't just be like, oh, I really like the new Corolla, but it's about $500 outside of my price range. Oh, don't worry, we can come to a kinky compromise on that price. Just step into my office. Yes, the unmarked white van, that one. Don't worry, the story has a happy ending. It was a pain in the ass, but after a very kinky compromise, I was allowed to leave the van. First time I had sex was a terrifying experience. I was scared shitless. I decided that the best thing to do for me was to name my junk beforehand. That would be the way to build confidence, because I'm a very intelligent man like that. I decided I wanted to get something that would convey power and strength, and that I'm a grower, not a shower. So please stop laughing. It's going to get better from here, I swear. So the name that I settled on was Mr. Fantastic. You know, like Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, the Elastic Man. He can stretch himself out to ridiculous proportions. He's about Doctor Doom, some Sinestro. He worked with the Fantastic Four in the Avengers. Yeah, that's about where I got with her before she started making the same face you're doing. But see, in my head, this made perfect sense. Because if things went south and I got an STD, I could just rename it to the Human Torch or the Thing, depending on my symptoms. And I was still in the same comic book universe. But unfortunately, because I named my penis after a comic book character, most of the time Mr. Fantastic was visited by his girlfriend, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. So I like comic books. Comic books are cool. Not like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. I like video games too. I like where the two mesh, where they merge together. Merge. I really like the new Batman video games, the Arkham ones, where you run around, you can beat people up. Those are great. They've got an added side benefit. Now, when I tell people I'm going to go up to my room and play Batman for 6 hours, they assume I'm talking about those video games, so that's wonderful. What else? Life's a lot like a simile. So my sister is married to a Jewish man. Their wedding was a lot of fun. They did a lot of Jewish traditions there. They have an event there that they call the Hopa. It's where the bride and the groom, they sit on chairs, and then the bridal and groom parties raise them up on the chairs, put them over their shoulders, raise them up and down in time with the music. It's a lot of fun. My sister asked me to be on her team. Not entirely sure why, because her husband was friends with a bunch of Jewish linebackers who looked like they could each have picked her up with one hand, whereas I have trouble doing 3 push-ups. But anyway, she asked me to be on her team. got to the chair to pick her up, and it's me and three Jewish linebackers, and she's terrified, just white knuckled, gripping the chair. Um, Looks like she's about to throw up. And I leaned into comfort. I said, "Don't worry, Casey. Come on, don't worry. We'll be Gentile." I laughed hysterically, and I think three Jewish men contemplated beating the shit out of me. So all in all, pretty good wedding. I enjoyed myself. I think they did too. Here's a joke about the TSA. I feel like the TSA is a very necessary and very useful part of airport security. I feel like they make us safer and they are worth all the prices that we pay. I feel like they are well-trained individuals that are helping us out individually. That is the end of my joke about the TSA. They say that it takes a lot of bravery to admit to your mistakes, and I agree with that. I think my dad is probably the bravest person that I know. Anyone that he meets, he will tell them right off the bat that I am his greatest mistake he ever made. Calm down, calm down. I'm joking, I'm joking, I'm joking. My dad doesn't do that. He won't admit we're related. Not to you, and certainly not to me. Breakups suck a lot. I'm really bad with breakups. I'm an over-emotional little bitch when it comes to breakups. I'm that guy where, like, for a week, 2 weeks after the breakup, everything just reminds me of that relationship. Every love song is about us. So this is my impression of me at a party a week after being broken up with a friend. Hey man, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. It's just sorry, songs just getting to me. Really, this song is getting to you. Yeah, I mean, sorry, she really was just a small town girl. And ever since she left me, it's been a lonely world. And when you think about it, rural Indiana is in many ways similar to South Detroit. Anyway, those are my incredibly stupid jokes. Please let me know what you thought of them. Mom, I'm sorry if you saw this. Dad, I'm also sorry if you saw this.